Hi everybody, today we're going to talk about weight loss stalls. This is a really common concern and it's something that I hear about quite often. I get emails about it, I get comments on my videos, I see it on Facebook, in the group, wherever I go, I see questions and comments about weight loss stalls. And what is a weight loss stall? Some people think that if you go for a whole week without, losing a pound, that is a weight loss stall. More realistically, though, weight loss is not linear. You're not going to lose something every single week. It's quite common for it to go like this and up, and then down and up and then down. It can vary day to day. So if you are a daily weigher, you're going to see that a lot, more often than someone who is, say, a weekly or a monthly weigher. And I know that some people do like to weigh every single day, and they have their reasons for doing that. But you have to be strong about, those little spikes. And especially as women, sometimes we just seem to retain water or our weight goes up at certain times a month. It is not necessarily directly related to what happened the day before, what you ate the day before. It can be related to something you ate a week ago, maybe not that long, but 3 days ago. It can be related to hormones, your cycle. There's so many different things that can affect what that scale says. And so the daily fluctuations can be really overwhelming for certain people. Another option is to weigh once a week, and then you're getting a better average, maybe every Monday morning if you weigh, a whole week goes by, and then you're able to see, that trend without having to get stressed out about the daily ups and downs. But some people say, well, if I do that, then I don't have that daily accountability. Some people need the daily accountability. And so we're all different, and we all need and want different things. Sometimes I do the daily weighing, and sometimes, I'll let a couple of weeks go by before I weigh. For a while, I was doing a monthly weigh-in, and I think each of those time periods does have its pros and cons. So a stall really can be anywhere. It can go on for a couple of weeks, 6 weeks, 6 months. I've certainly been on weight loss stalls that were long, and they are so discouraging. I totally get people's frustration with it. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing something wrong. What I have found, and for those of you that don't know, maybe today is the first time you've ever watched one of my videos, so I should mention that I've been doing, low carb, keto, carnivore. I'm now just calling myself animal-based because I think that's what it is. And I've lost 145 pounds over a long period of time. And so what I have found is that as those pounds accumulated, the pounds lost, the stalls in between the pounds lost got longer and longer. And I think that, is reflected in a lot of people's experience. You always hear about people who say that last 10 pounds, it's impossible. The last 15 pounds, it's just murder. I'm dealing with the last 30 pounds, and I've been dealing with it for quite some time. I guess I would say I'm probably on a stall right now. But some of it is, I'll go down and I'll go, oh, I can have dairy, and and then it comes back up. And so there's a certain amount of it that is because of those types of choices. What I would like to do is be, I don't think I'm unreasonable in the way that I eat for the most part. And what I would like to do is just be able to, eat my meat-based diet when I want, what I want, and have it just continuously go down. And I don't always get my wish on that. But so one thing that I have, I want to share this with you, because this is something that has really helped me over the years. A lot of people have different reasons that they will say, okay, well, if you're in a stall, maybe it's because you're healing, your body is healing, and so it needs that time to heal. And maybe that's true. Or maybe there's, some underlying illness going on, and, you should get blood work done, and you should, get some more, some testing, get more rest, get more sleep, do, sunshine in the morning. All those things, will help release the weight. Your body sometimes needs to just rest. I mean, that kind of makes sense too. Like if you had 1 month, you lost, 5 pounds or 10 pounds, your body just can't keep that up. It sometimes just needs to have a rest, and things need to catch up. And, because I do think that in most things in nature, there's always this equilibrium that's being sought. I'm not a scientist or a doctor or anything like that. These are just sort of common sense things that I have, watched and seen over time. And hopefully some of them make sense to you. But I found with myself that, 1 month I'll lose 5 pounds. And then that's it. That's it for 2 or 3 months, especially as I've gotten closer to getting to a normal weight or my goal weight. And, back when I first started, it just seemed like every week there was a loss, and you sort of expect that to continue, and it doesn't always continue. Although there are stories out there of people who, got on some kind of a program and went all the way to their goal weight and lived happily ever after. That's not my story. So I can only share what happens with me. But this thing that I wanted to share with you most today about what has helped me is just reframing my thoughts around it, and just thinking of it. And I used to joke about this. I used to say, oh yeah, I've been on this long stall. I'm practicing for maintenance now. And I used to sort of treat it like a bit of a joke, like try to make light of it, try to see the positive side of it. But after a while, and if you're in my group or anything like that, you've probably heard me say that many, many times over the last few years. But after a while, it sort of occurred to me that, that's not an unreasonable thing to say, actually. Because when you think about it, prior to getting all of the carbs and all of the garbage and seed oils and sugar and whatever else doesn't belong on the proper human diet, prior to getting that all out, it was very difficult to have a stable weight. I would either be losing weight because I'm on the latest crash diet or fad diet, and as soon as that was done, I'd be rapidly going right back up the scale. There was never an equilibrium. There was never a stable time where my weight just stayed the same. There was never a time where I could buy some clothes, a pair of jeans or anything, and know that a week or 2 weeks or a month from now that it was still going to fit me. That is like I had 3 or 4 sets of sizes or more in my closet all the time. That has not happened. I have gone through times in the last few years of bagging up clothes, knowing in my heart that I would never need those clothes again. I would give them away, donate them, or whatever. And so I only have the size I am now in my closet. And, it seems like every year I have to purge things because they're too big, because it happens very slowly. I might go down a size a year, whereas in the early days, I would go down several sizes very quickly, but I also then went back up. And, that just doesn't happen anymore. So practicing for maintenance is actually kind of I don't know. I just would like you to think about that. You know, have you had times in your life where you just stayed the same, wore the same size for years and years? As a person who, struggles with any eating disorders, or a person who maybe started out very obese like I did, I'm kind of thinking that maybe I'm not alone in this. That maybe you too may have just always been going up and down the scale. And so, what is wrong with staying the same weight for 6 months? I think staying the same weight for 6 months is actually a good thing. And there just comes a time when, if you accept that, which can be hard some days, but I have found over these past few years, the more that I accept about what is happening, the more that I just say, okay, yeah, that's okay. Look how far I've come. Like, I have to remind myself, what is the alternative? So I'm on a stall. I'm practicing for maintenance, because at some point in my life, I will never be wanting to lose, and I certainly don't want to gain. And so it takes a certain mindset to be okay with where you are. And so I don't know, it's just a thought that I wanted to throw out there for you to consider if you are currently stressing about a weight loss stall. Now, I did do a live stream full of suggestions about different things you can do if you are on a weight loss stall and you still have plenty of weight to lose. Going to link that below, because there was lots of helpful hints in there and helpful ideas, metabolic resets, intermittent fasting, different things like that. So definitely give that a listen. But in the meantime, don't stress about the stalls, because the stress can actually make the stall last longer. And I know that is a frustrating thing to hear. But just saying. So anyways, I think I'll end it there, and thank you for listening this far, and thank you for supporting my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Now you're making me nervous.